He began with nothing. Nothing visible, because there was nothing to see. Nothing audible, because there was no being to hear. No matter, no energy, no space, no time. There wasn't even darkness, because darkness is the absence of light, and there was no light. Then there was the beginning. The first thing he created was the heavens and the earth. Since it was in the beginning, then time also began from the beginning of creation. Now there was matter and energy and time and space. Nothing was arranged in a coherent, sensible manner. The earth was formless and void. Now there was darkness, but that would not last long, for the Spirit of God hovered over the waters, and God spoke. Let there be light. And immediately there was light. And God was pleased, for the light was good. And he separated the light into times of light and times of darkness. And he named the time of light day. And he called the dark times night. And there was evening. And there was morning, the very first day. And God said, let there be a space of separation from the waters on the earth and the waters above the earth. And God created that space between the waters below and the waters above. And the region above the earth he called heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. And God said, let the waters on the earth give way for dry land to appear. And it happened just as he had said. God called the dry land earth, and the places where the waters had gathered he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the dirt of the earth grow vegetation, plants with seeds, and fruit trees which have fruit, and in the fruit will be the plant seeds, and each type will grow according to its kind. And that happened. The earth grew vegetation, seed-bearing plants and fruit trees. Each type of plant and tree grew according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them follow a consistent pattern that divides time into seasons and days and years, and let the lights shine so brightly in the sky that they illuminate the earth. And that also happened just like God decreed. And God made two great lights in the sky. The brightest light shone during the day, and the dimmer light shone at night. And there were also stars. And God set them in the sky to light the earth. And the lights separated daytime from nighttime. And God saw that this too was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. On the next day, God spoke again and said, let the seas filled with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly in the sky above the earth. So God created the fish, both large and small, and every living creature that fills the waters, each according to their kinds, and every bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was all so very good. And God blessed the creatures he had made. And he told them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. And then God said, let the earth bring forth land animals according to their kind, livestock and lizards and wild animals, each according to their kind. And that happened just as he had wished. And God made the wild animals according to their kinds, and the livestock according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man to look similar to us, and all the birds in the air, and the fish and sea creatures, and all the animals upon the earth, they will be subject to man's dominion." So God created man in his own image, and like the other animals, he created them male and female. And God blessed them, and he told them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and control it. I have placed you in control of the fish and sea creatures, over the birds and all the animals that live on land." And God also said, "Look here, I have given you every edible plant and fruit-bearing tree. They are yours. You shall have them for food. And to every animal on the earth, and every bird in the sky, and to everything else that lives on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for their food." And it happened just as God had decreed. And God looked at everything that he had made, and he approved, because it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. So finally the heavens and the earth, the sun and the moon, the planets, and all the stars, everything, it was all finished. The universe was set into motion as if it had always been there. Creation was a newborn, and yet also fully grown. And on that seventh day, when God finished all his work, he rested. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because it was the day God rested from all his work which he had done in creation. This is the order in which God furnished the earth. In the time before rain had begun to fall, and there was no man to work the ground was watered by a mist which rose from the ground. Then the Lord God made man with his very own hands, forming him from the dust of the ground and giving him life by breathing his own breath into him. All the other creatures God had spoken into existence, and they appeared fully formed and functioning. But man he formed with his own hands, and he brought him to life with his own breath. In the eastern land called Eden, God caused a beautiful garden to grow, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground the Lord God raised every tree that is pleasant for the sight and good for food. The tree of life was in the middle of the garden, and so was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend the garden, and the garden would sustain the man. God commanded the man, saying, "You may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die." Then the Lord said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will create a companion and a helper for him." God had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And the name the man gave each beast and each bird, that became their name forever. The man gave names to all livestock and to the birds and to every wild animal. But for Adam, there was no helper or companion found for him. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a very deep sleep. And while he slept, God took one of Adam's ribs and closed up the wound with flesh. And God used the rib that he had taken from Adam, and God formed a woman around that rib. God brought the first woman to the man and presented her to him. Then Adam said, "This last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of a man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they two shall become one flesh." And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed.